Good morning, everyone. Today I'm here with my colleagues and we're going to discuss Malaysia ethical issues and CSR for hospitality and tourism multinational enterprises. First of all, it's important to highlight the country profile, particularly focusing on the market situation and on the human resources management issues. Malaysia is a developing country situated in the southeast of Asia that is currently benefiting from a growth in manufacturing and at the same time is a major tourist destination. Malaysia is one of Asia's biggest importers of foreign labor. In fact, it attracts many expatriates, and there are 4 million foreign workers in the country, especially from Indonesia, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. But we have to notice that all of them are in the country legally. Malaysia is a multi-ethnic and multi-religious country. In fact, we can find a Muslim ethnic Malay, which is dominant politically and at the same time benefits from positive discrimination in both businesses, education, and civil service, while there is a big ethnic Chinese minority which holds the economic power. We have to remark that Malaysian hospitality and tourism industries are growing rapidly. They experienced from 2000 to 2009 an important growth. In fact, the supply of hotels in Malaysia grew by 60% and it's still growing a lot. Focusing on challenges in the hospitality sector, we can highlight that one of the most significant challenges for the hospitality industry is finding and retaining qualified hotel personnel. So lowering down the turnover rate in this sector is quite challenging. One of the most important issues for workers is finding motivation. In fact, low motivation causes a low quality of the service delivered to customers. Researchers highlighted that the training process does not meet the needs of the hospitality industry in terms of providing high quality staff. And finally, from an HR perspective, we have to highlight that the differences between the Malay and the Chinese ethnic groups leads to some challenges for managers.
Corruption and bribery. Bribery in Malaysia has reached 32% this year. So similar proportions of both men and women have paid to bribe in the last 12 months. Across the region, people through that reporting corruption by 22%, followed by refusing to pay bribes by 21%, which were the most effective. It has been reported from local authorities less than 23% has taken action towards the issue of corruption. Approximately 26% of the people who have seriously suffered from negative persecution. The founder and the CEO of Slim Leisure Group shared his experience on doing business in Malaysia with the hidden cost. Corruption also doesn't just mean you will be paying inflated prices for goods and services, but the hidden cost is that you are getting the right person for the right job because it's not based on merit. He also claimed that many people from tour organizations and taxi operators demanded a kickback of 10 to 20% cut from entrance fees to promote or bring passengers to the theme park. Labor exploitation. Low-skilled migrant workers made up a huge part of the human resources market in Malaysia. However, the weak governance structures of the states have took advantages of their vulnerability and caused the marginalization of them. So those workers were unable to seek justice due to the large number of ministries involved in the recruitment process and also the complexity of jurisdictions. As a result, Migrant workers who need to remain in the country had to abide to the rules, which may lead to unlawful termination of employment as well as imprisonment of the physical punishment. According to The Guardian, exploited the story about the modern-day slavery where the Nepal's migrant worker being exploited when working in McDonald's in Malaysia. According to them, their passports were confiscated, they had to experience poor accommodation conditions, they were being deceived about wages, and they were focused on pay additional fees. So despite many complaints were made, so there were no assistance being given to them. CSR in Malaysia ethical issues. Corporate social responsibilities is one of the main challenges that the government is facing in Malaysia. It is believed that CSR is important for the sustainability of an organization, irrespective of its size and the industry way it operates. CSR is becoming important also to customers, as most of them are becoming aware of what they're buying. Research studies done on CSR dimensions and its practices are lacking the most of the developing countries, including Malaysia. Royston 2005 proposes that multinational companies in CSR strategies are engaged in the human capital development in Malaysia. CSR has related training initiatives as main focus of engagement to help and contribute in more responsible way to the society and the business development. According to the newspaper Free Malaysia Today, orangutans have been exploited by the luxury hotel Sringri Las Risa Ria Resort in Sabah. So it has been claimed that orangutan rehabilitation programs and argue that it's only covered for tourist money. Apparently, the fact that orangutan rehabilitation must only be taken in the rehabilitation center and the members of the public were prohibited to visit. So the things that the hotel did would increase the risk of the orangutans being getting an infection and the humanizing of the primate species.
Corporate governments, there will be a series of policies regarding the ways to deal with this kind of situation when it happens. This ways is normally implemented by companies in the hotel sector, for example, Four Seasons, Genting, Marriott, and Shangri-La. Of course, theme parks and other kinds of hospitality and other companies in this kind of hospitality industry would also have corporate governments like this as well to deal with corruption and bribery. Care of them, no matter if it's for their working environment or their living environment and also their mental health. So it's important that companies have a series of strict and also very detailed guidelines on how to take care of their employees. Last but not least, MMEs would develop a series of strategies and policies to deal with environmental problems that they would face in Malaysia. Companies like Berjaya, Genting, McDonald's, and Marriott would implement waste management program and also a series of policies to reduce the carbon footprint that they would have in the company. Moreover, as Malaysia is a country which relies heavily on natural resources, conservation of natural environments is very important in Malaysia. So it's important that this kind of company would have policies which they can do to protect the environment in Malaysia.
We could conclude that the increasing of corruption is mainly due to the inefficiency of the government body, so it's not multinational companies' duty to try to eliminate the problem at its roots. On the other hand, the avoidance of the labor exploitation and the engaging in sustainable activities is part of the company's duty. That's why companies have to think about ways on how to deal with them. We could suggest that multinational companies should put more pressure and effort to local HR departments in the sense of educating and training their local staffs to adhere more strictly to their CSR policies.